for all the candidates, if you will just tell us who you are, what you're running for, and why you're running for this office, or how you'll approach being in this office.
Hey, my name's Kyle Sweetser. I'm running for United States Senate here in Alabama. I'm a Mobile, Alabama native. I'm running to stand up against the MAGA authoritarianism that's taken over our country, to stand up for democracy, and to stand up for the people of Alabama and bring real representation back to Washington, D.C.
Hey y'all, I'm Dakar Lariat. It's so good to be back. I'm running for United States Senate to flip Tommy Tuberville's seat this November. I love this state. I want to see us all do better. I have 20 years of experience in advocacy, as well as in building teams and fighting for change in corporate America through DEI. I'm running to bolster our healthcare, to fight for reproductive health, education, and economic opportunity for all, and of course, public safety.
All right.
Hello, everybody. I'm Attorney Everett West, and I'm working to be your next United States Senator. I spent some time here in Huntsville working at Redstone Arsenal, U.S. Army MICOM, and NASA software project, and then I've been practicing law for 23 years. I'm running because I don't like the political climate, what's going on. I have children, I have grandchildren. I want them to have a better America than what we're seeing today. I want them to have a better Alabama than what we're seeing today. So I hope I can earn your vote on May the 19th. Remember, I'm Everett West, the best candidate for U.S. Senate. Thank you so much.
Everett, hold on to that for a second. First question, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. For all of you, what do you see as the most urgent issue facing the country, and how would you respond? How would you approach working with the majority? Everett, 1 minute.
All right, first of all, I want to bring civility back to our U.S. Congress. As I mentioned before, I did work here at Redstone Arsenal for 17 years in the IT department for TRW, which is now Northrop Grumman. I remember the Doge cuts came down. Some people had to retire early. Some people were laid off if they did not have 90 days with the government. Congress created these agencies and have oversight of these agencies. I want to make sure that we have stability right here in Huntsville. When this uncertainty was there, it affected families, it affected jobs, it affected your children going to school, food, gas prices. It affected you. I want to be the one who protect you and Congress. I can do that because I have experience here in Huntsville and 26 in the law as a judge, as a prosecutor, as a public defender. I understand the law. I'm the best candidate for this position. Everett West.
After the Constitutional Convention in 1787, a woman approached Benjamin Franklin and asked, what do we have? What do we have? What do we have? Do we have a republic or monarchy? Friends, we have got to fight like hell to protect this republic. We really can't do anything if we don't have our democracy. We've got to elect a fighter in 19 who can take this all the way to November and then in office. So we've got to protect and fight for our democracy right now. And after that, I would say our next issue is healthcare. We have healthcare deserts throughout the state. We have healthcare results that mimic developing nations. Maternal death zones throughout the state. Number 1 for Black women, number 3 for women overall. So healthcare would be my number 2, but we've got to fight for our democracy first.
So at the top of my platform, it's been reining in the executive office. The president is launching wars without Congress, driving up costs for the American people, the people of Alabama who already are struggling to get by. I want to reassert congressional authority over tariffs. That way we have to have the debate as it was intended to be on how they affect folks, especially down here in Alabama. Look, whether you're a Democrat, an independent, or a Republican, it is very clear the president has far too much power.
That's right.
So I want to go up to Washington, D.C., and I want to pass legislation that undoes a Supreme Court ruling that says the president is above the law, which is absolutely outrageous.
That's right. That's right.
And everyone should agree with this, whether you're
No matter.
the most MAGA or you're solidly on the left. They wouldn't like it if their candidate or the candidate that wasn't.
Okay, we know there's a supermajority in Montgomery. We know there's a supermajority in DC. How will you, if we are able to break that a little bit, or if we're not able to, how will you approach the other side about getting some of your ideas across? Is that it? That's it. How do you make sure that you're hanging on to your democratic principles when you vote?
Well, I'm a former Republican voter. If y'all don't know that. Very publicly after January 6, 2021, I started working to de-radicalize MAGA on the national level, and my work has been all-consuming for many years. So I want to really use what I've learned and what I know really resonates with people. We need to focus on, and I plan on focusing on, the issues instead of ideology, because when you bring ideology into an argument, especially with legislation, then you're going to fall into a trap and you're not going to get anything done for anybody. So I'm dedicated to delivering real results for the Democratic Party, moving the ball. And that will also deliver real results to the United States. And I'm happy to answer any questions in the future about my past. Thank you all.
That's all right. No
Hey, y'all. So I think about the shutdown last fall, winter, something like 35 days because of those ACA subsidies. I think about the most recent, frankly, I see it as taking hostage of our workers at TSA over the last, 40, 60 days. It's unacceptable. Every time I walk into a room, and this has been the case in my last 20 years in corporate America, I think, how do I make a deal? How do I move the ball down the field? And that's what I'm going to be doing for you. So we don't always get what we want. We have to stand on our principles, but we've got to make a deal for Alabama every time we walk out of the room.
That's right.
These shutdowns represent a failure in governance.
Yes.
We have to use it as a leverage.
I remember when President Obama was at the end of his term and they would not bring Merrick Garland up for a vote for the Supreme Court justice. And when Trump was lame duck, we got these conservative Supreme Court justices. They don't want to work with us, and we don't want to work with them. Once we get control of the Senate and the House, they don't have supermajorities in the federal government. They have narrow 4 or 5 votes can make a difference. 4 or 5 changes in Congress can make a difference. First of all, I need you to go out and vote for West the Best. And once we do that, I'm going to get up there with those other senators and other House members, and we're going to do what's good for Democrats, and we're going to pass legislation that's good for Democrats. We're going to do what's right, what's good, and what's moral for Democrats.
How are we going to make Social Security
That's my
solid
question.
and whole?
That's my question. Yeah.
Okay, I think that is for the national folks.
All right, so with Social Security, no one really has a solution. Nobody talks about the core of the problem. The core of the problem is that since the 1970s, our birth rate has declined. We have a much smaller part of the population that's working to support a larger part of the population that's now do that Social Security. So you look at what's happening. What is replacing these jobs now is AI.
Yes.
So the folks that are building these AI data centers,
Yes, indeed.
that are taking jobs, should be responsible for replacing that Social Security income.
That's right. That's right.
And that's an actual solution.
That's a good idea. That is a great idea.
I wanted to go last for a reason.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
Some of these comments have already been spoken to you, but bottom line is we have to flip the dialogue, and as leaders,
That's right.
legislate right, we provide oversight, and then we also have a bully pulpit. And from my bully pulpit, we're not even going to discuss not funding Social Security. It is an entitlement. We have paid into it. It is a responsibility. And it actually is one of the pay-as-you-go line items in our budget. So we need to talk about that as well. So there is a gap. How do we plug that gap? We've got to start taxing folks appropriately. We've got to get rid of that cap. We've got to look at other tiers of taxing. We've got to ask companies to pay their fair share. So how many times you're on the highway, you see Amazon trucks, these guys are paying 1% and 2% income taxes, whereas we're probably paying 20, 30 in this room, right? That's not fair. So we've got to fundamentally relook at our tax structure and ensure that we're taking care of our seniors.
You deserve Social Security, and it is an entitlement.
Yeah.
First of all, we need to tax the rich.
All right.
Make them pay their fair share. Let's close these loopholes. That will help us get more revenue to make sure that Social Security is solid. Secondly, and this list is not exhaustive, the United States has money.
Yes, it does.
As Congress, I will redirect those funds from the war to Social Security.
All right.
What about
From the White House ballroom to Social Security.
Now, that's better. That's better. That's better.
From these trips that the Trump staff paid at your taxpayer expense, I will redirect those funds as your U.S. Senator from his administration to your Social Security. And there's a lot more we can talk about, but if you vote for me for Congress, we'll go in and make sure that the fund is redirected and it goes to you, the people. It's your money. It's your government.
Next question.
Are any of y'all in the Epstein files?
Cal, have you been to Mar-a-Lago? You were there with Trump, weren't you? No?
Okay, all right.
Kind of horrible with names, but I'm gonna go off of what I heard, and this is for my Make America Great Again, man. Why should we trust you? Because after everything that you said, that is all that I heard was that you was over there. Over there.
Who you talking about? Oh, I
Well,
voted
thanks for the
for
question. For one, I'm running as a Democrat in the state of Alabama, which is the hardest path to take in the state. It is the absolute hardest path to take. I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing it for the state. As I went in and out of people's houses, started business in 2016, going in and out of people's houses and working on garage doors, seeing people change, it disturbed me to the core over the years. Watching from 2016 to January 6th, really. Very, very unsettling to me. The increase of racism, xenophobia, and sexism. My wife is half Thai, so sitting on a job site and hearing people dog my family day after day really made my blood boil. But look, our country right now is getting burned to the ground by an authoritarian movement. It's not even what the Republican Party was. So that's what needs to be said. If you look at some of these folks in the past, anyways, thank y'all. Appreciate it. Could go forever.
Right here in front of this group. How do you solemnly swear that if elected you will not flip?
He will not.
Okay.
Not 2 times. He can't do
Okay.
that.
This lady over here had her.
I was just wondering how are you going to combat all these commercials that the Republicans are putting?
They're ridiculous.
You know, it costs about $100,000 to run some of those for about a week.
That's what I'm.
Anytime you can come up with that money to give to our candidates, y'all go ahead. How are you going to combat it?
I donate monthly.
Donate today to West
That's
We'll get billboards, TV commercials. Just scan that QR code and we'll take care of
That
it.
answers
I
the
want,
question about how much it costs.
I want your vote.
If I had $100,000, I'd give it.
They want your money. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question. It starts with ground root support from people like you in rooms like this. So my campaign average donation is $30. Most of our donors are in the state of Alabama, so it shows real ground support. Frankly, we also have to be more surgical. So these big billboards and TV for the primary don't make sense for Democrats in our state. That's more of a general election strategy. Right now, you can find our commercials on streaming. Why? Because we can target specific commercials, specific zip codes, and talk to you. So if You're on Hulu, for example. You've probably seen the commercials, digital billboards in select communities. So thank you for that. And also, I just have to follow up on a question before. I understand changing your mind, but voting for Trump 3 times is disqualifying. The first time is bad judgment. The second time, you fully agree with him. The third time, I don't know what to say. You should not be running.
That question, if there was one thing you wanted everyone to take away about you as a candidate and your platform, what would that be? Start down here.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
The difference here is, I've been to the federal appellate courts and I won on the judicial issues. I've gone to the federal and state court and I won on search and seizure and I won on due process. I've been a representative pursuant to the Constitution of people. Now I want to represent you. I've got the experience as a lawyer. Can you imagine Attorney Everett West, Attorney Shamari Figures, Attorney Terry Sewell representing Alabama? That's the dream team. And that's the difference in me and these other candidates I have experienced.
Y'all, I am running on my record. 20 years of experience creating jobs, bringing people together in a nonpartisan fashion in the corporate world. I have no political baggage. I have 20 years of experience in advocacy, advocating for marginalized groups, from addressing homelessness issues to food insecurity to education, serving on the board of the University of Alabama Alumni Association. It is that track record I want to take to Washington and be an advocate for you through education, healthcare, and economic opportunity for all.
All right.
So in the state of Alabama, to win the election, we need to bring over 200,000 Republicans, even with a motivated Democratic base and a depressed Republican turnout. I'm gonna use my background, I'm gonna use the work that I've done over the years that got me invited to the Democratic National Convention, where I delivered a speech back in 24 about Trump and the direction our country was going. I'm gonna use my background as a former Republican, as someone that works in construction, as a regular guy, to win those folks over, and I'm the only person on the ticket that is able to do that.
Don't we have some incredible candidates? Let's give them all a round of applause and thank you for holding on.